Good morning, everybody. It is week 16, and before we get started, I would like to introduce to you my sweet little fruit bat. He's not really a fruit bat, he is a dog, but he looks like a fruit bat, doesn't he? Don't like me. He's hairless, and some people love him, some people hate him, but I think he's the most cutest little thing I've ever seen in my life. He totally looks like a fruit bat, don't he? Okay, I'll switch you guys around and I'll show you guys everything we got. Okay. So everything that is in the closet looks like it's doing okay. There's not any initial shock going on. I do notice that two of the plants, I'm not sure if they're the broccoli or the cauliflower, but they look like they're the same kind. They are showing some kinds of something, I'm not sure. It's almost similar to what my cucumbers look like. So points for anybody that knows what this might be. I'll show you another leaf here. Yeah, I'm really not sure what it is. Some type of fungal something maybe. I know these plants looked good when I brought them in here, so I'm not quite sure. It's just these two. The rest of them all look good. So we'll see if these ones survive. A lot of people say it's hard to keep plants indoors, and I think that's definitely true. The elements has its way of working with them, and we can't always provide everything the same indoors, but we can try, so that's what we're doing. All of the peppers are exploding with flowers, you guys. Like, focus here. Like, totally just exploding. There's tons and tons of flowers in here, and if I can even focus to see right there's a little pepper. On this side there's a ton of them starting, and you'd be surprised how delicate these little tiny flower buds are because I've knocked off like 10 of them on accident, so I'm cutting my pepper yields. But you can see little peppers starting. We're going to have a bunch, I think, off of these, which is good because we didn't get much off of the ones in the garden, if anything at all. This Friday is the frost, so whatever doesn't ripen will be getting pulled and brought inside, and hope for the best that it tastes good because I don't think any of the peppers are going to be ripe, but we're hoping for the tomatoes. I will show you what I got harvested so far out there. There isn't really a whole lot to show you in the closet. Growth is slow. Pick some lemon balm for some tea. Maybe I'll share with that next week, but I'm going to go ahead and walk outside. Let me turn you around. Okay. Grab my coffee. Yes, this is our last week that we will be outside. We are going to be pulling all of the tomatoes and all of the peppers. I'll climb over this gate, guys. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we are going to be, any peppers that are left on the plant, if any, we're going to pull, and any tomato plants, we are going to be pulling, or actually cutting at the base and hanging upside down to let them ripen further on the vine. Yes, they will die, but they will still be able to suck in what they can from the vine, which is good because they will be more tasty if they ripen on the vine. I have not actually had very much of anything ripen on the vine. I've been picking them as they start to blush because we want to force ripen the other ones because we still have lots of green tomatoes. So that's what we've been doing. I'm going to switch you guys around and I'll show you what I got for tomatoes. Okay. Woo, focus. Alright, so these are all the tomatoes that I grew this year. These three we have already done a harvest for, and I've showed pictures, and I can post pictures down in the comments. These three we have harvested and tried, and these ones are some of the first to ripen. Not the very first. I've tried a few of them. I have not yet tried the Dr. Weishi's yellow. It's looking beautiful. It's just about ready to cut into. The Dester tomatoes, it's looking a lot more red now, but when they started to ripen, they were literally like bright pink on the bottom. It was like so beautiful. and the Wapsinicon peaches. I definitely think I'm going to grow these next year. They are very prolific. They're mild, but they have a very interesting flavor, and they're a little bit fuzzy, almost like a peach. I really enjoyed them, so I'm definitely going to grow those next year. The Roman, speckled Romans, I tasted one and it wasn't very flavorful, but I picked it early, so I'm hoping this one was a little bit more ripe before I picked it, so we'll see what the flavor is like on that one. That's a good tomato paste tomato. Good morning, Whitney. I love that you always watch my videos every week. It makes me happy to see your face. We got the yellow beans, pear. These were probably the first ones to start ripening, and they were very prolific, but they aren't very flavorful, so I'm not sure if I'm going to grow this one again next year. The white cherry tomato, I know it doesn't look very white, but these are actually delicious. I thought they were going to be very mellow because they're one of the white ones, and the yellow white ones tend to be more mellow, but these are super good. The black cherry tomato is just a very delicious, flavorful tomato. I definitely will grow that one again. And I have not actually tasted one of these ripe yet. They seem to take quite a while to ripen, and I haven't seen them get really past this point before they start getting soft. So compared to the picture, they're not as red, but I think that's ripe. They're very, very, very soft, so I'm scared to let it go too far. So really, we are just waiting on 3 more to be able to do taste tests with, and that's the Nebraska Wedding, the Gold Medal, and the Tasty Evergreen. And when I go out to the garden, I'll show you which ones are which. But the... Ooh, there's a scary little critter bug there. Okay, sorry. I was distracted easily. These gold medals, the one that's out there is absolutely humongous. So I am super excited to see what that tastes like. Everything on the deck here is just at a standstill. Nothing's really progressing or ripening. The temperature is really just kind of too cold. I pulled one of the big ones off this plant and brought it inside and stuck it with an apple and an orange like I did with the other ones to see what it even is. So we'll see when it starts to ripen what color it gets. If it even turns a color, maybe it's a green evergreen tomato. I guess we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and walk out here. Our raspberries are going, I almost said bad word. They are going nuts. We have been steady picking off those. There's tons more bundles, and I think we're just going to keep harvesting that until the freeze comes, which is really fast. These root vegetables will be okay when the frost comes. Excuse my neighbor dog. But all of these beans and the peppers and the tomatoes and everything will die off when the freeze comes. I was going to show you guys. I missed a set of beans when I was picking. Look how huge these are. That's nuts. There's still a few little flowers, but they're pretty much done, I think. So we'll be able to come and pick any beans that are left out here and get these rows all cleaned up and start prepping for next year. Okay, so on, I don't even know what day it was. It was like 2 days ago. We had a first, not a hard frost, but a soft frost, I think they call it. And basically it was like 37 degrees, and I was super scared for my tomatoes, so I started gathering all my bed sheets, all my pillowcases, all my extra curtains, everything I had to try and wrap around these tomatoes to keep them safe from the cold. And I realized that's really hard to do when you have huge giant poles. I started draping them over the top, I started wrapping them around, and we had all sorts of funky contraptions out here with cloth, but everything seemed like it survived, so I should have taken a picture. It looked so funny. It kept everything alive, though. I think next year we're definitely going to have another plan for that, because whether we do the cages or the poles, we're definitely going to... I figured I got bed sheets, I'll be all right, and I didn't think about it, and we had like 45 minutes until it got dark, and we just kind of wing it. Tomato, right? All right, I was going to show you. This is one of the gold medals, and I could be wrong, but I think this might even be bigger than that Kellogg's breakfast that we picked. I'm very, very curious to weigh this one. The other one was 1.13 pounds. I'm betting that this is almost 2. That's a big tomato. You can even see right in the crease there, it like made an extra support around the branch so it wouldn't snap. I haven't seen that before. That's really cool. But the only other ones was the Nebraska Wedding, and that's these ones. They look like they're starting to lighten up, so they'll probably start to ripen on us soon. And then the green evergreens. There's these two. I'm hoping, I've learned a lot this year, so I'm hoping that next year we have a much better turnout. Seriously, it's just been like one learning thing after another, which is good, because let's get all this crap out of the way now so that we have lots of good harvests for years to come. That's the plan, right? All right, I was going to tell you one more thing. Oh, I am not positive if it's great advice, but I went ahead and took it, and I'm not sure if it worked or not, but I took a shovel, basically, and I went around, and on one side of all the plants, I kind of just chopped down with the shovel. And what that's going to do is basically the same thing as defoliating, and that's going to make the plant feel attacked so that it force ripens its fruit better. Because as you can see, we still have peppers that are not ripe. Lots of red jalapenos that are not ripe. And this sucker has been on here forever, and I just want it to ripen. It's supposed to be brown. Ooh, and we got a nice big one over there. But even if these ones don't turn out, that is why I started the other ones indoors, so that hopefully we can get a good harvest off of those. And it seems like the peppers are doing really, really good. So as long as we can get them to ripen and avoid mold, then those are going to be our biggest struggles, I think. But yeah, I went ahead and spaded all these tomato plants too around the bases. I started taking out cages, as you can see. My garden's a hot mess. I guess that's just a good representation of what I'm like right now. When my garden winds down, I'm a hot mess. But maybe I'll take up painting again and I can paint the garden. Live in my own little fantasy land. Everything is just kind of starting to die. I ain't got a weed. I guess that's a plus. Just taking one last look around and just kind of taking it in. All these beautiful tomatoes yet. I'm hoping that we get more ripe before we have to bring them in. But Friday, so we got, what, 4 days? A lot can happen in 4 days. Lives can change in 4 days. So I'm just going to try and stay positive and see what we get, and we'll be grateful for it. Until next week, go plant yourself.